Howdy guys, welcome to episode 59 of Learn That Solo. Today we're going to be looking at Where the Nightmare by Arsis, a very, very tricky technical one. Let's take a look.
What shall we do? Bring it down to good night all.
Let's take a look at the first section. I'm going to start off with a slight bend on 17th of the second, and then another pick and do a bigger one. So a bigger bend there, and then we go into this E minor arpeggio sweep thing, and that'll lead into the taps that follow. We'll worry about it one step at a time. So let's have a look at the arpeggio. I'm starting initially on the 6th string and doing a hammer on from 12 to 15, and then I use a flat ring finger across 14 of the 5th and then the 4th string. Okay, after that I want to go to 12 of the 3rd, 12 of the 2nd, and also 12 of the 1st. So I'm just rolling my pointer there. So 12 to 15 is a hammer on the 6th, 14 and 14 on the 5th and 4th string, and then 12 on the 3rd, the 2nd, and the 1st string. So I'll play that all again a little slower. And at the end of that, I want to hammer to 15 on the 1st string. So I've got a hammer at the top of the arpeggio and a hammer right down when we get to the high end as well. Alright, so let's try it with the bend at the start. Okay, what we're going to do now with that hammer on that we have at the bottom of the arpeggio is work into the tap root. So what I'm doing at the start of this is I'm tapping 19 and pulling off to 15, 12. And then I do the same idea but tap from 17. So then it goes 17, 15, 12. So all together. Then I bring that idea up a string, so I'm going to tap 17 of the 2nd and pull off 15 to 12. Just got a message. Anyway, so we go. And then after that, I want to tap 16 of the 3rd and do 3 of these. So I'm going to go 16 and then 14, 12 as a pull off 3 times. So all together. The bit that follows this is now pretty strange. What I'm doing is I'm doing a tap on 14 and then hammering 12 to 14. So we're kind of going to double up with the tap and also the ring finger. Your fingers may hit each other, is a little bit strange, but we want to do that 8 times. So I'm doing the tap and then the hammer on, and I want to do that 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so let's try the whole thing from the start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, then we're going to the next section, and this is a little bit strange. I don't know why they didn't do something a little bit more obviously diatonic. They just tap it for fun. So just thinking, notes of a scale, pretty simple ideas here. What I'm doing is I'm tapping 16, pulling off 14 to 12, and then doing the same on the 4th string. Jump back down to the 3rd string again, and now I'm going to go tap on 17, pull off 16, 14, same on the 4th. Then I tap 19 of the 3rd, and then pull off 17, 16, and then the same on the 4th string. And then I tap 21 of the 3rd and pull off 19, 17, and then the same on the 4th string. Let's put that all together. Very boring scale slowly. Alright, well that's pretty much all of section 1. Let's put it all together slowly and see if this makes sense. Alright guys, let's have a look at the second section. Let's keep in mind that we've just come from this tapping phrase. So we've ended on 17. We want to start the second section with a big bend on 21 of the 3rd string and then hit it again in vibrato. And we work into the arpeggio thing, which I initially thought was this. But it isn't. It's got some taps. I watched some footage of them playing it live. It's a bit trickier than I first thought. So I want to start off initially with a hammer on from 12 to 15, and then tap 19 and then reverse those hammer-ons as pull-offs. So it's 12, 15, 19 is a tap, and then 15, 12 is a pull-off. After that, I'm jumping to 21 of the third string as a tap, and then I pull off 16 to 12 all together. Okay, and then we jump back down to the first string again and hit 19 as the tap, and then do 12, 15 as the 15, 12 as the pull off again, and then tap 21 of the third string and go 16, 12 as the pull off again. So it's almost the same thing twice, it's just the first bit's got a little hammer at the start of it. Okay, the next bit that follows that is this. What I'm doing here is I'm doing a tap on 16 of the third, pulling off from 12 to 9, and then tapping 17 of the fourth and pulling off 14 to 9. I do that group of 6 notes twice. Okay, so from the start of this ridiculous tap section, I'll do it a little slower. My bad, let's try that again. Okay, after that I want to do 9 on the 5th string with a light vibrato and then pull off to 7. And then I do 9 to 7 as a quick pull off. And then I want to hit 9 again. Just hold it, so I go. Okay, end of this section works into this little phrase. Okay, so the start of it is very, very diatonic, just working down the scale. I want to start from 9 to the 5th, and we're going to go 9, 10, 12. The same on the 4th string, 9, 10, 12. Okay, and then I go to 9 of the 3rd string, and then I want to go back to the 4th string, so I go. After that, I'm going to go 12, 10, 9 on the 4th string. Okay, and then after that, it goes to the 3rd string again, and I'm going 12, 9. And then 11, 9, and then 12, 9 again, and then 11, 9 again. So we go. And then at the end of the group of 2 of each of those, we just want to end on 12 with our pinky. So I'll slow that down one more time. Alright, let's try it with a couple of notes before it. Alright, let's try all of the second section one more time. Alright guys, let's have a look at the third section. This is probably the easiest one. We're going to do a bend on 17 of the second and then bring it down and hit it again in vibrato. Much similar to the start, and then we've got working with like 6th harmonies or something like that here. I'm playing 16 of the 3rd string and then 12 of the 4th. And then from the 12th note I slide to 10. And then I want to hit 14 of the 3rd string and then hit 10 of the 4th. So it'll go. And then from there I'm going to slide from 10 to 9 and then hit 12 of the 3rd. So it'll go. So the whole thing thus far from the top of this section is. Okay, the next one goes from 17 of the 1st string. Same kind of idea, up and back, and then we hit it again at the bottom with the vibrato. The next bit after that goes like this. Let's slow that down. I want to go from 13 to 15 on the 2nd string, and then 12, 13, and then 14 of the 3rd, and then back down to 12 of the 2nd. So we should have 3 groups of 2 now. Okay, and then at the end of that I want to go 12, 14 on the 3rd string, and then hit 14 of the 4th. So we go all together a little slower. Alright, let's try all of section 3 a little slower. Let's have a look at the 4th section. This is where we start looking at those ridiculous arpeggios. So what I want to do is have a look at the A minor 7th arpeggio with the sweep taps, and then we'll go through it slowly. Alright, So from the start of that, we're starting from 7 of the 5th string. I'm doing a hammer on from 7 to 10. And then a flat finger across 9 of the 4th and 9 of the 3rd. So I'll use my ring there. And then hit 8 of the 2nd. And then hammer from 7 to 10 on the 1st. At the end of that, I want to tap 12 of the 1st string and then pull off to 10 and 7. So it'll go all together. Then after that, I want to reverse up the arpeggio. So we do the pull off from 10 to 7 after the tap, and then I go from 8 of the 2nd string to 9 of the 3rd. So it'll go. I want to pull off from 9 to 7 and then hammer back to 9. So it'll go. And then I work my way back up the arpeggio again. So I want to go to 8 of the 2nd and then hammer 7, 10 again. Before we add the end of that, let's put that all together. My bad, let's try that one more time. Okay, after that I'm tapping on 12 of the 1st string. Now this is a bit strange, we're skipping a string every time, so it's going from the 1st to the 3rd to the 5th. So I'm hitting 12 of the 1st string and going 10-7 as the pull-off, 12 of the 3rd now, and then I'm doing 9-7 as a pull-off on my left hand, and then the last one I'm tapping 12 and then pulling off to 10-7 on my left hand. So to go all together, a little slow. Alright, let's have a look at the G major arpeggio that follows that. This is sort of a G major 7th idea. So timing and ideas are all similar, it's just a little bit strange in the position. So I want to do 10 to 14 as my initial hammer on the 5th string. Then I'm hitting 12 of the 4th, then hammering 11 to 12 on the 3rd. Okay, after that I hit 12 of the 2nd string and then hammer 10, 14 on the 1st. Okay, after that I want to tap 15 and then reverse the arpeggio up to the 3rd string pretty much. So I'm tapping 15, pulling off 14, 10, and then going 12 of the 2nd, and then the 3rd string, I want to go 12, 11, 12 as a pull off into a hammer. All together. My bad, let's try that again. Then after that, I want to go to 12 of the 2nd string, and then hammer 10 to 14 again. So all together. And then after that we go into this string skip arpeggio tap thing like what we had before. So what I'm doing there is I'm going 15 is the tap and then 14 to 10 on the 1st. Then 16 is the tap on the 3rd and then 12 to 11 on the 3rd. And then the last one was 17 is a tap and then 14 to 10 on the 5th string. So I'm going to go. Okay, let's put the whole thing together from the E minor 7th arpeggio into the G major 7. Alright guys, very last section we're going to start from 15 of the 1st string. So I'm going to bend it up and then vibrato it when I bring it back down. Hit it again and then vibrato, and then we work into the last sort of 2 little shreddy runs into a diminished thing. So this is working with straight triplets. I'm going to go 12, 10, 8 on the 1st string, and I'm pulling off most of these, so just pick as little as possible. And then I hammer back in for the next triplet, so I'm going to go hammer to 10, pull off to 8, and then go to 12 of the 3rd, so back to back. And then the next one goes from 8 of the 1st string and then 12, 10 is a pull off. And then I hammer to 12 on the 2nd string and then I pull off to 10 to 8. So all together. Then we do roughly the same pattern with these 6 notes. I'm going, we'll just do the 6 notes first and then we'll add the pattern and you'll see how similar it is. So on the 1st string I was doing 10, 8, 7 and the same on the 2nd, 10, 8, 7. So we add that triplet pattern to it. I'm going 10, 8, 7, hammering back into 8, pulling off to 7, and then going to 10 of the 2nd string. And And then I go back down to 7 of the first string, and then I want to pull off from 10 to 8. And then we hammer after that, hammer back to 10, and then pull off 8, 7 on the second. So I go. Okay, so let's do it with the bend in front of it now. Okay, then we start our diminished arpeggios from 8 of the first string. So it's just the same idea dragged up 3 frets at a time. Let's look at it anyway. I want to do a pull off from 8 to 5 on the first string, and then I'm hitting 7 of the second and then 8 of the third. And then I reverse that all the way back down to the ring finger I started on. So I'm going 8, 5, 7 of the second, 8 of the third, 7 of the second, and then 5, 8 as a hammer on. And then I slide that up 3 frets, and then it's going from 11 to 8, and then just sort of mirroring what we had over here. So it's going to go 11, 8, 10 of the second, 11 of the third, and then work its way back down. So all together. And then I slide from 11 to 14, and then we're going to go 14 to 11, 13 of the second string, and then 14 of the third, and then just work our way back up again. So it's the same thing 3 times in a row, just with the little slides in between. Okay, and the last one I slide from 14 to 17. I pull off 17 to 14, and then go 16 of the second, 17 of the third. This time when I work my way back down though, I don't want to finish on a hammer, I just want to end on the 14 of the first string. So we're going to go like this. And at the end of that, I just want to hit 17 on the second string. So with the diminished runs. Alright, let's try the whole section a little slower. And that's it. That's the We Are the Nightmare solo. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. I'll catch you real soon. And don't forget to like me on facebook.com/learnthatsolo. Catch you all soon.